Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kobold, joined by my guy, Max Faulkner. Max, heard you went on a hike this morning, man. How was that?
Oh, gorgeous. It's in the 50s here in Tennessee right now. We had these crazy thunderstorms. I don't know if you were keeping track of these southern thunderstorms that were happening. Dude, tornadoes everywhere. We had a tornado warning from the morning all the way to night. We didn't have a tornado, but then it went up to Kentucky. Kentucky got like trashed. I think there's pictures of houses being taken by these tornadoes. I saw people getting swept off their feet, getting blown in the wind.
I haven't heard of this.
Their feet. Nuts over here. Thunderstorms have been crazy. Gorgeous. I mean, seeing lightning bolts and stuff strike the ground is nuts. But gotta love it because you don't see this back where I was back in LA for a while now. But gorgeous hike today, Kobreezy. Lots of different creatures walking around, dude. We're seeing snakes. We're seeing muskrats. I already told you about the eagles. That there's eagles flying around at this place. Kobreezy, last thing I'll bring up about this. On our way, this wasn't even on the trail. On the way there, we saw a wild turkey walking on the sidewalk.
Another turkey.
There's wild turkeys that just walk around here in Tennessee. They just pop up.
Nice.
So
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Big. I'm sure.
Those are juicy. My lips start watering every time I see one of those bad boys walking around. I'll tell you right now.
Getting ready for November. I mean, you can have turkey any time of the year, Kobreezy. Thanksgiving can happen anytime. True.
What's going on with you, Kobreezy? What's going on, man?
I was out of the loop on those thunderstorms. I hope everybody's safe out there. And everybody, welcome in. Thank you for all the returning people. Thank you for all the first-timers. Thanks for listening to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. But what's going on with me, man? Enjoying some nice, beautiful weather here in Denver, Colorado. 75 degrees today. 75 degrees today. Going to be 75 again tomorrow. Looking forward to a good weekend. I was just outside throwing the ball with Bentley, pre-pod Beezy, right about an hour ago before I came in. Bentley's chasing a squirrel along the fence. Here comes and swoops in a hawk, okay? Grabs the fucking squirrel. Flies off.
Whoa.
Bentley and I just shocked.
That's a big ass hawk.
I said, "Oh shit," because he swooped down real fucking on the fence, and Bentley's jumping up on the fence to get the squirrel, so it was almost a collision. It was wild.
It's crazy to think that Bentley, who's pretty quick, it's a pretty quick dog, can't catch the squirrel, but a hawk can come down and just scoop him up.
So easy. He made it effortless. It was wild. So
squirrels don't look up.
A little bit of wildlife over here for us too. So cool that we're both in some cool spots that we can see some creatures roaming around.
Love it. Love seeing this wildlife. It's unbelievable.
But here this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, it's going to be all college basketball, the last college basketball episode of the season. Obviously, we'll talk about the championship next week, but we'll also be getting into the NFL, the MLB, and soon the Olympics, Max.
The Olympics are right around the corner, everybody. It's going to be some big matchups. Obviously, go Team USA on everything. Go USA. USA. Let's go. But we'll get to that once that time comes around. But yeah, dude, MLB has started, Kobreezy. The NFL draft's coming up. Lots of things are happening as far as the trading in the offseason. The Bears are making big moves. We got a lot of things to talk about in the coming weeks. But yeah, Kobreezy, let's stick with college basketball right now because you already know I am absolutely ecstatic.
Woo! We got a lot of ball to talk about, so let's get into it. And lastly, we're going to finish with our first annual Don't Tell Mama Top 5 college basketball head coach rankings, okay? So stay for that because that's going to be a good discussion.
Yes, can't wait.
But first, let's look back at these regions, the Sweet 16, Elite 8, see how these teams got here to the Final Four. Starting in the East, we saw UConn 30-piece San Diego State 82-52. The Huskies had 21 offensive rebounds, where San Diego State had 17 defensive rebounds. Yeah. Cam Spencer, 18, Tristan Newton, 17, and Steph Castle with 16 and 11 boards. In the other Sweet 16 matchup, we saw Illinois never trailing, defeating Iowa State 72-69. Terrence Shannon was balling, 29 points. Illinois, though, 15-29 from the free throw line.
Ooh, that's not good.
That's not good at all. And then in the Elite Eight, we saw UConn freaking run away from Illinois, finishing up 77-52 behind a 30-0 run. It was tied at 23, Max. It was tied at 23, a minute and a half or so to go before halftime. UConn goes on a fucking 30-0 run. It's 53-23. I said, I'm going to start making dinner. Dinner. This baby's over.
Yeah.
Okay. UConn hadn't gone on a 30-0 run in any game since 1990. Okay. That doesn't happen, especially in the Elite Eight. A 30-0 run in the Elite Eight. I can't say that's ever happened.
Oh,
UConn had more assists in this game than Illinois had made field goals. UConn had 21 assists. Illinois had 17 made shots. Oh, my goodness. Illinois scored 52 points in this game. Their previous low in the season was 64. They were only held under 73 three other times this year. Terrence Shannon had 8 points on 2 of 12 shooting, 6 points after that 30-0 run. So he was a non-factor. Donovan Clingan, 22 points, 10 boards, 5 blocks, the big dog for the Huskies. Max, what do you think about those 3 games?
Same kind of story, Kobreezy, about that Illinois UConn game. We're watching Luna down at the pet spa that's located right down here. Our place has a pet spa, pretty nice. But we forgot the comb. We forgot our comb. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just halftime is just, or second half is just starting. I'm fine. So I rush back, grab the comb, come back. This is in a span of about, I'm going to say 7 minutes. Okay, about 7 minutes to be coming back. Now Illinois is down by 22. I said, what the hell is happening? And yeah, sure enough, they go on that 30-0 run. Oh my goodness, Kobreezy, I cannot believe it. I thought that this was going to be a tight one. I thought Illinois was going to, because the way that they've been playing, Illinois has been playing fantastic. Their offense has been so good. Dane Danger, man, he's been coming in. He was not even nothing. He was nothing against UConn.
No.
Everybody, if you had UConn not going to your Final Four because you thought that, hey, it's really hard. I mean, which I understand. It's really hard to win two in a row. UConn might be one of the best college basketball teams that I've seen maybe in my lifetime. I'm just thinking about it. In my 32 years of age, that might be the best team I've ever seen. They are damn good. Oh my goodness.
We'll have to put a list together.
Yeah.
We'll have to put a list together. The Florida Gators who went back to back with Al Horford, Joakim Noah. That's a big dog team.
That's a good team. That's a good team.
But we'll talk about it. But yeah, Illinois, you talk about their offense. They were the number 2 offense according to KenPom going into the game, being held to 52 points. Oh my goodness, the Huskies defense. So the UConn Huskies, they're your the East Regional champions this season. They're currently 35-3. They were the Big East regular season champions. They were the Big East tournament champs, something they couldn't say last year. Okay, they didn't win the regular season last year. They won it by 4 games this year. They didn't win their tournament last year. They won it this year. They're better. It's not a debate anymore. It was a debate maybe 2 months ago. It's not a debate anymore. They're better than last year.
Yeah.
They whipped Stetson in the first round by 39.
Expected.
Northwestern by 17. Talked about that 30-piece over San Diego State, the last Mountain West Conference team remaining. And 25 over Illinois. That's a couple ass beatings right there, Max.
All of them are ass beatings. Okay, that Northwestern game, I know that was the lowest with 17 points. They were kicking their ass right off from the jump, man. Like, they sat their starters in those last 4 minutes of the game so Northwestern could try to come back a little bit. But, dude, they are railing teams. Railing.
The Huskies, they've led all 4 NCAA tournament games this season by at least 30 points at some point during the game. They didn't finish by 30, but at least 30-point lead in all 4 games. And their 10 NCAA tournament wins going back to the 6 last year. Okay, the 6 last year and the 4 this year, all 10. Their average margin of victory, 23.1 points. 23.1 points. The closest game was 13. Max, you already talked about it. I'm wondering if this is the most dominant 2-year run that we've seen. You think about Florida. If they can go back to back, we're going to be talking about them. No defending champion had made it past the Sweet 16 since Florida in 07. So the fact that they're even here. Let's remember their 120 point margin last tournament in those 6 games, they won by 120 points. That was the 4th most all time. It was a dominant run last year, and they're doing more this year. No champion had ever won a tournament by at least 13 plus points every game. That's what they did last year, and they're on to do more this year. Anything else on the UConn Huskies, Max? Because I'm with you. They might be the most dominant team we've seen.
I have nothing else other than saying, hey, we will see UConn this Monday in the championship game.
Yeah. But before they get there, they got to take on the West regional champions, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Let's see how they got here. They took down 1 seed North Carolina in the Sweet 16, 89-87. Bama shot 48% from the floor, 42% from deep. Grant Nelson had 24. Rylan Griffin with 19. Estrada with 19. Mark Sears with 18. Oh, my goodness, they can fill it up. R.J. Davis for the Tar Heels, 0-9 from 3. His only game this year without making a 3. In the other Sweet 16 matchup, Clemson from the ACC took down Arizona. The Pac-12 is done, Max. The Pac-12 is gone. Clemson beat them 77-72. Chase Hunter led the way with 18. DJ Hall with 17 points and 8 boards. Caleb Love also 0-9 from 3.
Wow.
RJ Davis, Caleb Love on the same night in the same building, 0-9 from 3. That's crazy. So then we saw Bama take on Clemson in a basketball matchup in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. Bama beats them 89-82. Mark Sears, your guy, 7 threes, I believe 6 in the second half.
Wow.
23 points. Bama shot 16 of 36 from deep. That's 44.4%. Clemson led by 13 in the first half. They had a paint point advantage of 42-26. 42-26 Clemson in the paint. But here's where I think they got them. They were a top 10 free throw percentage shooting team coming into the game, Clemson, over 78%. They shot 8 of 16, okay? Missed fucking 8 free throws, 50%. Max, what do you think about those 3 games and how Bama got here?
Dude, Alabama could score. Man, they have an elite offense. I mean, yeah, number one, yeah, right? Mark Sears, led by Mark Sears. Yeah, led by Mark Sears. Man, that guy can score too. That guy can shoot. He can get to the basket. Yeah. He can dish the ball out. He plays defense. He does it all. The one thing that Alabama doesn't do is actually play defense. Okay, as you see, like most of these games, they might be scoring 89 points, but they're giving up 80 to 82. You know, it's going to be very, very hard against UConn. I'm telling you right now, because not only does UConn score the damn basketball, but they play defense. Oh, it's going to be a tight one. It's going to be tight. But Alabama, great job. Great job. I had them going to at least the Sweet 16. I believed in their offense. I believed in their scores. And I thought it was kind of almost a redemption year since last season. They lost in the Sweet 16 last season, but everyone was saying, oh, Alabama's going to win. They have all the NBA players, I picked them too. I fell for it. I fell for that Crimson Tide love, but not this year. I thought they were. I thought they were worse. Not as good as a team, but good coaching staff. Way to come around as a team and get your guys to be averaging the most points in the game. It's unbelievable. Alabama, great job. Congratulations on their first Final Four, if I'm not mistaken, Kobreezy. First
Final Four, second Elite Eight. Great accomplishments here for Alabama. 25-11 on the season, tied for second in the SEC. They beat Charleston by 13 in the first round, hung 109 points on them, and then beat Grand Canyon by 11, only scoring 72. So that shows me they can win scoring a lot and maybe win in a slow game where they only scored 72. Beat Tar Heels by 2, Clemson by 7. And like you brought up, Max, they were the number 1 overall seed last year. They lost 7 of their top 9 scorers. Brandon Miller, the number 2 pick. They started 6-5 this year. Alabama started 6-5 this year. I think you got to tip your hat to Nate Oates. We're going to be ranking college basketball coaches later. We're not going to be talking about Nate Oates, I don't think.
No. Not yet anyway. Not this year.
So I want to give him some flowers right now. He's in his 5th year at Alabama. He's in his 5th year. He has 2 SEC regular season titles, 2 SEC tournament titles, 3 Sweet 16s, an
Oh,
Elite 8, and now a Final Four. Okay.
damn, that's pretty good.
Nate Oates is a good coach. Shout out to him. Alabama is your West Regional champions.
You know what I love about Alabama coaches? Is they always dress in those goofy ass suits. You know,
I
Bear Bryant did it.
Bear yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he always wear these goofy ass checkered suits, and hey,
Hey,
I'm
fits
not,
him.
I'm not making fun of them.
Sure.
They own it. They own it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like when they wear that suit, you don't have to see the symbol of Alabama on them. You just know the checkered suit. Like that's Alabama. That's
Hey,
Alabama right there. I can dig it. I can dig it.
yeah, yeah. Let's go look at the South Regional now, Max. We had a good game. Duke and Houston. Duke got him 54-51. Soft serve cream. Kyle Filipowski had 16 points and 9 boards, but the biggest storyline for me was Jamal Shed. That ankle injury, not getting to
Uh,
play. Unanimous Big 12 Player of the Year, first team, All American. Houston made 2 3-pointers the whole game. After he goes out, nobody's moving. LJ Cryer's trying to go one-on-one, but he's not a one-on-one player.
no.
Jamal Shed, the heartbeat, the leader of the team. It sucks that he went out and couldn't get back in, but Duke takes him down 54-51. This is the first time Duke defeated a better seeded team. Duke was 4, Houston was 1. First time Duke defeated a better seeded team since 1994.
Wow.
1994. So that speaks to, yeah, they're ones and twos and threes, but they haven't beaten a better seeded team since 94. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Then we saw the Beef Pack of NC State defeat Marquette 67-58. DJ Horn led the way with 19 points. Marquette shot 4 of 31 from deep. North Carolina State, they controlled this whole game. They controlled the whole game, Max. They won despite Big Daddy Burns only having 4 points on 4 shot attempts.
Oh wow.
And they still won. Yeah. So that set up an ACC matchup between North Carolina State and Duke, the third time in the month of March that those two teams are playing. Big Burns, DJ Burns led the way with 29 points on 13 of 19 shooting. His boy DJ Horn had 20 points. Kyle, extra small vanilla cone Filipowski, shot 3 of 12 before fouling out.
Yeah.
4 fouls and shots made, boys. Duke allowed 55 points in the second half after allowing 51 the whole game to Houston. Where's the defense? Another good nugget here, Max. This is the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament that an 11 seed beat a 4 seed.
Ah.
Crazy. What do you got for me on those 3 games in the South region?
Well, NC State is having a miraculous run, everybody. Can you believe this? What are they on, a 9-game win streak starting from the ACC tournament where they had to win 5 in a row? They had, yes, if they would have lost, they're done. They would have lost in the ACC tournament. They're not making the tournament, everybody. Or the dance is what I mean, March Madness. They wouldn't have made it.
And let me pause you right there because that first game in the ACC tournament against Louisville, they were losing at halftime. They were losing to Louisville at halftime in the first game of the ACC tournament. They come back and win. They beat Syracuse, then they beat Duke, and then they need a buzzer beater against Virginia to send it into overtime, a banked-in 3-point buzzer beater to send it into overtime against Virginia. After an 85% free throw shooter, McNeely misses a free throw. They come down, banking a 3 to send it overtime. They win that game. Like you're saying, miraculous run.
It's unbelievable the way that they're playing right now. They're all together. You got to give it to Kevin Keats because he was on the hot seat. A lot of analysts were saying he was on the hot seat. Might be fired. Man, how he got these guys together to finally play with what they have. Look at the guys that they have around them. They're like, all these guys are graduate students. Like 3 graduates. I think Diarra is the only he's a junior. Diarra is a junior, and he's technically the youngest, right? They're all upperclassmen, and they finally figured out how to play together. You got to love this. So we'll talk about the matchup coming up against you know who. Toot toot. The other game. What was the other game called, Breezy? I'm all on NC State right now.
Houston, Houston, my national runner-up getting taken down by Duke, 54-51. Jamal Shed, that ankle injury really sucked.
Yeah, that's really all I want to talk about is Jamal Shed. You just saw the heartbeat stop. Okay, as soon as he
Nobody
got
was
hurt,
moving. Nobody
just
was
nothing.
moving.
That was not Houston basketball. You just knew that they were, yeah, they got stabbed in the heart, and all the Houston fans did the same thing. I was shocked myself, but
Mhm.
no one ever wants to see that. No one ever wants to see one of the top players get hurt. We want to see elite players playing against other elite players. He goes out. That was it, man. That was just it. Sad,
An-
sad day for Houston.
Another elite player that went out from the region was Tyler Kolek and Marquette. We'll see Shaka Smart and them boys next year. Hopefully, we get some guys that come back because a lot of those guys are still sophomores and juniors.
Nice, yeah.
So the beef pack of NC State here, they're 26-14. They were 10th in the ACC. They knock off Texas Tech in the first round by 13. Jack Golke and the Golden Grizzlies take them to overtime in the second round, but NC State gets them by 6. And of course, get Marquette by 9 and then Duke by 12. Okay. We talk about DJ Burns, Max. He the way he's smiling and laughing and having a good time. When we look back on this tournament, he's going to be one of the main guys we think
Yeah.
about. He started his career at Tennessee. Rick Barnes didn't think he was ready to go. He redshirts, leaves, goes play 3 years at Winthrop.
Really?
Now he's in his second year with North Carolina State. This is his 6th year of college basketball, Big Burns. Okay.
Okay.
DJ Horn, he's at his third school. So yeah, like you're saying, these are grown men. Burns, he's actually getting some NFL interest. Okay, we got NFL scouts coming to watch Big Burns, just like Mo Alley Cox. You know Mo Alley Cox for the Colts, right?
Yeah.
Basketball player at VCU, hadn't played football since freshman year of high school. That's what they're thinking about Big Burns, 6'9", about 300, that can move his feet like that.
Yeah.
Could be a good offensive lineman, maybe tight end.
Okay. He's pretty slow to be a tight end.
6'9" though, throw it up, end zone.
If he can get there,
I think
you
he
got
could have
you got about 4 seconds to throw the ball as a quarterback. I don't think he could get down into the end zone in 4 seconds. You can't get 2 yards in 4 seconds.
I think he's gonna has a better shot at an NFL career than an NBA career. How about that?
Yes, I agree with you on that. Yeah.
NC State is the second team ever to win 5 games in 5 days, like they did in the ACC tournament. The other team to do that was Kemba Walker and the Huskies in 2011. And what did they do? They went on and won the whole damn thing.
Champions.
14 losses this season for the Wolfpack is the most ever for a Final Four team. 14 losses, the most ever. This is the 6th 11 seed to ever reach the Final Four, and none made the title game. Let's give a shout out to those other 5. 2021 UCLA, let's not forget how they went from the first 4 all the way. 2018 Sister Jean, Loyola Chicago. Come on, can't forget about those Ramblers.
Yeah, that was fun.
2011 Shaka Smart and VCU. Come on. 2006 Jim Larinaga and George Mason. That was a great run from Jimmy L there.
I remember that.
And then 1986 LSU right after the tournament expanded. So this is the 6th 11 seed to reach the Final Four. Shout out to the Wolfpack. One of the biggest storylines of the tournament is DJ Burns and how these guys have won 9 straight elimination games. If they would have lost any of them, they would have been out.
Yep.
And they're rolling. It's a hell of a story. Anything else you got on the beef pack there?
Cannot wait for this matchup that we're gonna talk about in a second here. But yes, unbelievable run, unbelievable. It's a story for the ages. People will be talking about this for quite a bit.
Last region we want to look out here is the Midwest region, where your Boilers, Max, Purdue defeated Gonzaga 80-68. Big Dog Edey had 27 points and 14 boards. Braden Smith with 14 points and 15 assists. I believe a Purdue record 15 assists. Purdue shot 57% from the floor and 45% from deep. Let's not forget about Mark Few here. 9 straight Sweet 16s. Shout out to Mark Few.
Yeah.
In the other Sweet 16 game, we saw Tennessee take down Creighton in a pretty good one. 82-75. Got out. Tennessee got out big, and then Creighton came back. Don't connect. 26 points, 6 boards, 5 assists. Baylor Shireman had 25 points and 6 boards. Creighton lost this game despite shooting better than Tennessee from the floor, 3-point line, and free throw line. Creighton shot better than Tennessee from all 3 and still lost.
Wow.
You don't see that.
Nah.
So that set up an Elite 8 matchup that was a doozy I'm down Purdue and Tennessee. Okay, the Boilers take them down 72-66. We're down having an Easter meal, Colorado Springs, Kelly's brother's house. I'm sitting there telling him it's 10, 12, 15 minutes in the game. I'm telling him this is going to be a classic. We're going to watch this game on ESPN here in 5, 10 years. This is going down as a classic. And we saw two great performances.
Yes.
Performances here, Max. Big dog Zach Edey with a career high 40 burger.
40 ball.
To go with 16 rebounds. But then we also saw Dalton Connect go for 37.
Woo.
6 of 12 from deep. Max, this is the first NCAA tournament game where both teams had a player score at least half of their points. Okay. Crazy, this duel going back and forth. Obviously, they're not guarding each other, but just a great duel back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
Purdue outscored Tennessee from the free throw line 21-7. Purdue won the boards 47-26. Purdue outscored Tennessee in the paint 40-24. A couple 40 pieces there. Tennessee, the Vols, they're now 0-6 all time against 1 seeds in the tournament. Max, what do you have for me on those 3 games?
Let's just go the Creighton game. Tennessee, just their defense is outstanding, and Dalton Connect. That's all you needed. That's what we've been saying all season, Kobreezy. Tennessee just needed that score. They have the defense that can shut everyone down. All they need is a guy to score them, to put them over the top, okay, just by even a couple points. And sure enough, that's what Dalton Connect has done. But then you go up against my Purdue Boilers, okay? They were down by 11 points, okay? And
Purdue was down 11.
They were down 11. Dalton Connect had like 16 points in the first half already.
Bang, bang, bang.
Painter, yeah, like, I don't know, maybe three or four threes. 4 for 4, 3 for 3. It was one of those. Painter calls a timeout. I turned to my wife, and I'm like, babe, how in the hell is Dalton Connect getting all these wide open shots? He can literally look left. He can look right. He can look up to the ceiling and say, oh, look at the balloon someone forgot about up there. There's a balloon someone left. And then shoot it. Like, what the hell is going on? They got to face guard him for the rest of the game. I think Matt Painter heard me. I think he heard me, because that's what Lance Jones did the rest of the game. Guarded the shit out of Dalton Connect. But don't get me wrong. Dalton Connect definitely still had an incredible game, but you just saw it. You just saw that they were just playing tougher defense, making him, forcing him to take tougher shots. Tennessee has a great defense, but they had nothing on Zach Edey because nobody can guard him. They were trying to double team him. He's getting fouled because these guys are like, who can guard Zach Edey on that team? They're all bones compared to this beef.
Yeah. Yeah, not enough beef. Not enough beef like the opponent that we're gonna see here.
Speaking of this classic game, Kobreezy, the game came down to this very last play where Dalton Connect drove into the lane and Zach Edey blocked the shit out of him. The two best players in the game, arguably, but definitely Zach Edey's the best player in the game.
I'll say top 2.
I'm glad we agree, because Dalton Connect is unbelievable season. But Dalton Connect's taking the game into his own hands. He knows his team's got he knows they have to score. He makes this great move, goes up against Edey, and Edey just slaps that right back down to the floor. We get the rebound. Zach Edey flexes and screams, like, because how pumped up he is about that block. Oh my God, it gives me chills thinking about it. Chills. Unbelievable play. And that was it. After that, Purdue closed it out, made their free throws, and I couldn't be more ecstatic, Kobreezy, about this Final Four with Purdue. First time in my lifetime since 1980. Purdue has not been there since 1980, everybody.
1980. Only third ever. I think 1976, 80, and now 24. Looking at Purdue, they're right now 33-4. They were the Big Ten regular season champions. They kicked Grambling State's ass in the first round by 28. They whipped Mountain West Conference Utah State Aggies 106-67 in a game that, I mean, I even said it wasn't going to be a walk in the park, but some people were picking Utah State to win that game.
Charles
106-67.
Wally Zerbiak, time to retire.
Zerbiak should retire too. Then they beat Gonzaga by 12, Tennessee by 6. Purdue, they have 92 assists through these 4 NCAA tournament games. That's the most going into a Final Four since 1996 Kentucky that went on to win it with Pitino. Anything else you got on your Boilers, Max?
we're about to brag about them, about this next matchup and whatnot. So I'll leave it at that. But unbelievable job, Boilers. I couldn't be, I was literally at a loss of words. I got so ecstatic. I jumped up, I had one of those, like,
Oh
complete
yeah.
flex. Everything is tensed up. Yes. And then I just went numb. I just went numb with all these emotions that were flowing through me. And then my wife and I got ice cream to celebrate.
Hey, nice celebration. Nice
Yeah,
celebration.
can't go wrong with ice cream.
Sit back and relax here, Max. I got to talk about Zach Edey. Okay,
Oh, please.
I got a couple things. Get some water. Take a break.
Please.
Zach Edey, the big dog, the back-to-back National Player of the Year. We ain't waiting for it to get announced. We already know what's going to happen. He has 5 straight NCAA tournament games. Going back to last year, 5 straight of 20 points and 10 boards. That ties David Robinson for that record. He is the first player with a 40 and 15 NCAA tournament game since 1980, Bo Kimball. He is the first player with 40 points in an NCAA tournament game without a three-pointer made since Danny Manning in 1987. Rock chalk. He is the first player with multiple NCAA tournament games of 30 and 15 boards in the same tournament since 1977, Cedric Maxwell. He is the first player to average 30 and 15 going into a Final Four since 1968, Elvin Hayes. 2 other guys have ever done it. The logo, Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain. Okay? Wilt. Okay? 4 guys have ever done that. Zach Edey is the first player with an NCAA tournament game with 13 made field goals, 13 made free throws, and 13 rebounds since Bill Bradley in the mid-1960s. Zach Edey has accumulated over 900 points and 450 rebounds on the season. Only 4 other guys can say that. It hasn't happened since 1979. Larry Bird, Elvin Hayes, the Big O, Oscar Robertson, and Rick Barry getting on that list.
Oh, my goodness.
Zach Edey has accumulated 120 points and 65 rebounds in this tournament alone. One guy can say that going into a Final Four, 1979, Larry Bird. Last one, Max. Zach Edey, if nobody knew, passed my guy from Denver, Tommy Bruner. Zach Edey passed him for the nation's leading scorer, points per game. The last time the nation's leading scorer led his team to the Final Four, the Big O in 1960. Okay.
Wow.
We haven't seen the nation's leading scorer in the Final Four since 1960. What do you think about all those nuggets? Larry Bird, Elvin Hayes, the Big O, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Cedric Maxwell, Danny Manning, David Robinson, Larry fucking Bird, if I didn't say it already.
Oh, my goodness. Kobreezy, you just named these unbelievable stats, putting Zach Edey with some legends in basketball that if you don't know these names, people, then you don't know basketball. Sorry.
If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, now you know, and maybe you should look up some research and, stop living in a cave with cavemen that don't know how to speak or write and, use a rock to go get their food. Because there's a supermarket down the street, you can go get food. You don't have to go get,
to get their food.
Kobreezy, is Zach Edey one of the best college basketball players of all time?
He's going back-to-back player of the year. That hasn't happened since the early 80s. Ralph Sampson. That hasn't happened I don't know how many times. Maybe Bill Walton, maybe Lou Alcindor, Pistol Pete maybe, but yeah, he's going to go down with those guys, man.
Dude, Zach Edey's a legend. He's a college basketball legend and a fan favorite, which we're going to talk about fan favorites because of this matchup that's coming up. It's going to be exciting, but everyone loves Zach Edey. I have clients texting me about him, about articles that they're I don't read the articles that they're reading, but they'll toss me articles that, I heard about Zach Edey today. Like, he's everywhere. Yeah. This guy is a legend, everybody, and get your jerseys now because they're going to be sold out soon, if not already.
That leads us right into our final 4 picks, Max. Our final 4 picks. So we have a 17 seed aggregate. If you add up the seed seed of the 4 teams, 17. That's the 7th highest all time, obviously carried by the 11 seed Wolfpack. 2 nuggets here. This is 11 straight tournaments and 13 out of the last 14 where we've seen a team seeded 5th or worse in the Final Four. 13 of the last 14 and 11 straight, 5th or worse in the Final Four. And 11 of the last 13 NCAA tournaments have seen a team seeded 7th or worse in the Final Four. 11 of the last 13, a team seeded 7th or worse makes it. It's nuts to me. That's nuts. How do you pick that?
Crazy.
How do you pick that? First matchup on Saturday, the national semifinals. 4:09 Mountain Time. That's a good time. On TBS, we got your Boilers taking on the Beef Pack of North Carolina State. Boilers are currently favored by 9.5 points. Over-unders 146.5. Give me your pick right now on your Boilers, Max.
Purdue Boilermakers all the way, baby. All the way to this championship game. Real quick, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a really close game.
So.
The way that NC State is playing. Hey, we got 2 beefcakes down low that are going to be banging up against each other. DJ Burns and Zach Edey, both upperclassmen. You kidding me? Let's go. Let's go.
Please.
DJ Burns, 6'9", 275. Zach Edey, 7'4", 300. Okay, Zach Edey does have the advantage, but this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a lot of one-on-one between those guys. Okay, I'm telling you. I don't see Purdue double teaming DJ Burns. I don't see it. Zach Edey can handle him because Zach Edey is an excellent defender, believe it or not, at 7'4", the way that he can move. They might have to double Zach Edey. That'll probably happen. I could see DR coming over and trying to disrupt him. You got it. Because DJ Burns ain't going to be able to handle him. But that's going to be the question for NC State is what are they going to do when DJ Burns is not able to do his big beefcake moves down low? Because like those spin moves are incredible, but when you have a 7'4" guy on you, he's going to get a couple points, but
it's not going to work. I'll let you know right now. It's not going to work.
It's going to be a good game. The guards have to come out ready to play for Purdue. I mean, both teams, obviously, the guards have to come out ready to play. But hands up, no softness. Let's get into the players. Let's play hard like we did against Tennessee. Getting aggressive, diving on the floor for the balls. It's going to be a bloodbath, Kobreezy, and I cannot wait. But you already know, Purdue is going to the championship game. Who do you got, Kobreezy?
This is a great matchup. I think these are the Zach Edey and Big Burns. I think these are the 2 faces of the tournament, maybe with Dan Hurley. Because, you look at UConn, they don't really have that guy, that number 1 guy. They're more of a team, UConn Huskies, you know?
Yeah.
When I think about this tournament, I think of Big Burns. I think of Edey. I'm willing to bet my next paycheck that Big Burns is closer to 300 than he is 275. That's a big boy. That's a big boy. But Zach Edey is bigger. He's going to... I mean, they beat Marquette by 9 with Burns only taking 4 shots. Yep. So it's not like they haven't done it before. Okay. Yep. But Purdue, I'm with you, Max. North Carolina State, hell of a run. 9 elimination wins in a row. Underdogs in 7 of them. Underdogs in 7 of those 9. They were favored against Louisville and Oakland. Okay. All those other ones, they were underdogs. Not supposed to win. Magical run for the Wolfpack.
No doubt about it. Fan favorites, real quick: DJ Burns and Zach Edey. Who's more popular right now, Kobreezy? Would you say DJ Burns or would you say Zach Edey?
I can see people saying DJ Burns because Zach Edey is so just focused, just no emotion. Nope. When he's shooting free throws, when he's standing at the line, he's
scary. If he was staring at you with that face, I might have nightmares. I might be having
So compared to Burns, who's laughing and joking around, having a great time, I can see people liking Burns more. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know.
More focused, Zach Edey is. No doubt about it. More determined, I see.
And we both think that Zach Edey is going to prevail here.
Yes.
In the other semifinal matchup, the national semifinal, 6:49 Mountain Time, about 25-30 minutes after Purdue ends, we're going to see the defending national champion, UConn Huskies, take on Alabama in their first Final Four. The Huskies are currently favored by 11.5, 160.5 over under. Max, give me your pick here.
UConn Huskies going back to back in their second championship. I think it could be a closer game than we think. the way that Alabama is able to score. But again, UConn scores and they play defense. They got a guy down low in Klingon that blocks shots off the backboard. They got a surrounding cast from beyond the arc where they just stroke it with Spencer and Tristan Newton and Caravan. I mean, who's the other guy? Castle. Like, geez Louise.
They can all stroke it.
They can all stroke the damn basketball. I think that Alabama's pace is really good. Maybe that can disrupt UConn a little bit because they're a little bit quicker. You know, Klingon can't sprint back the way that they move the ball up the court. But yeah. I just don't see Alabama. I just don't see it. Sorry, guys. I got UConn. No surprise here. I had them go to the championship game since the beginning. So there you go.
No surprise here either, Max. I'm with you. This 11.5-point spread for the Huskies. This is the second largest spread for a Final Four game in the last 20 years. So this one could get out of hand possibly if Alabama doesn't, if they're not hitting their threes. I think they got to hit close to 20 to make this a game. I think Alabama has to hit close to 20. And that's asking a lot. That's asking a lot. And that's what I think they have to do. I think they have to fire freaking 40, 45 of them, get them up. Because their defense, Max, currently at KenPom defensively, 105th. We've never seen a champion ranked lower than 22nd. Okay, wow. They're 105th.
Wow.
Alabama, great year. Mark Sears, Nate Oates, first Final Four in school history. Hell of a season, but you're not going to beat the Huskies.
No.
Okay. This is the first time that both national semifinal games have had spreads of at least 9 points in the last 60 years. So this is really favored to be a Huskies, Boilers, finals matchup. Let's get into that right now, Max. We both, you had this pick. You had this in your bracket, Huskies, Boilers. I'm giving you the opportunity right now to jump off your bracket and go to your alma mater. What are you going to do?
Woo, man, oh man. There's a difference between what you want, which you know, we all know what you all know what you want, or what I want. How about that? We all know what I want in this championship game. But according to my papers, well, I picked UConn. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think, though. The way that Zach Edey's playing, can Klingon actually play some defense against him? I mean, he's 7'2", you know, although I don't know. I don't know, man. I want to say Purdue. But I don't want to say UConn. I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx my Boilers, though. Because the way that we've been having it right now, I'm still going UConn. I'm still going.
Okay.
I got too much superstition happening here. It's not what I want.
Nervous.
It's not what I want. But this is what I picked since the beginning: Purdue versus UConn, and I had UConn taking them down because of the surrounding cast around them. It's going to be a great game. Okay, if you think that this is going to be a 30-ball game, UConn just blows them up. No way. This is going to be a tight one. And I really hope that Purdue's on that side, that winning side. But I got UConn, Kobreezy. Who do you got?
I'm sticking with my bracket also, Max. I had the Huskies from the beginning over Houston. That didn't happen, but I'm going to stick with the Huskies. This is going to be the one game for the Huskies that's going to be single digits. Okay, this is going to be a single-digit game. I think Zach Edey could go for 40 and could still lose. I think the other guys need to step up in this Tennessee game. No bench points. No bench points for the Boilers against Tennessee.
Wow.
Only one other guy was in double figures, Fletcher Lawyer. Purdue was 3 of 15 from deep against Tennessee, and like you said, down 11 in that first half. If any of those things happen, Huskies are too good, man. Yeah. Huskies are too good. We want to see this matchup, man. Donovan Klingon, Zach Edey. I was saying I thought Ryan Kalkbrenner, the 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year, could do it. Well, guess what? They got knocked out by Tennessee, so we'll never see it. If there was somebody else that I could throw at Zach Edey besides Big Burns, it's going to be Donovan Klingon, man. Klingon, 8 blocks in a game in the tournament, 5 in another. He can't guard Zach Edey, but I think he can guard him one-on-one where everybody else can stay home. Zach Edey can go for 40, and Purdue can still lose.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a great game. UConn's been rolling through the tournament these last 2 years. This is going to be their toughest test.
Yes, as well as Purdue's toughest test. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's man, it's going to be up and down the floor though, Kobreezy. One team's going to be taking the lead, back and forth. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's a coin flip, people. Coin flip.
Yeah, one seeds. I'm surprised you didn't jump ship there. I gave you the opportunity.
You did. It's a superstition thing, Kobreezy. It's a superstition thing.
I hear
You
you.
already know I'm going to have all the Purdue gear I can wear
I hear you.
from my head on my from the hat on my head
Of
to
course.
the socks on my toes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I can't wait to talk to you before that. Hope they got to take care of Big
Yes.
Burns first, though.
Yes.
Come on now. Let's not
Yes.
get ahead of ourselves. Moving into the last topic today on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. For the first time, we're going to make this an annual thing. College basketball head coach rankings. Okay. We're going to give you a top 5 right now because we could make this a whole podcast, Max. If we did 7, 8, 10 guys, we could make this a whole fucking hour. Let's not take that much time on it. Okay. We're just going to give the people a top 5. And we did this for the NFL last year, Max, with Sam. And I feel like all of us had like 4 of the same top 5. We all had Bill Belichick and Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll. We all had those 4 guys, so it wasn't a lot of debate. Here, I think there's going to be a lot more discussion because there's a lot more guys here in college basketball. So currently, we have 24 college basketball head coaches who have reached a Final Four in their career. 24 guys. Okay. 9 of those have been to multiple Final Fours. Okay. 7 of those have won a championship. 7 head coaches currently have won a championship. Only 7. And only 2 current coaches have won multiple titles. Okay. Okay. And that's where I'm going to start right here with my number 1 guy who won championships in 2008 and 2022. Bill Self of the Kansas Jayhawks. The X's and O's of this guy, the out of bounds plays. I remember when I was coaching high school ball, I would pause the game after an out of bounds play and draw the play up because this guy's out of bounds plays are crazy. You go to timeout, come out of timeout, hit the plays. The plays are amazing. His lob plays, X's and O's. Bill Self is unmatched. Those 2 championships in 08 and 22, 2 more Final Fours in 2012 and 2018, 810 career wins. Bill Self's my best coach in college basketball.
Oh my goodness, Kobreezy. Yeah, he's my number 1 coach as well. 16 Big 12 titles, 3 Final Four appearances, 8 Elite Eights. He has 13. Get this one, Kobreezy. 13 NBA lottery selections, including Joel Embiid and Andrew Wiggins, but Joel Embiid's the big dog there. And can you believe this, Kobreezy? He's already a Hall of Famer. He's still a coach and he's a Hall of Famer.
Still got plenty of years left.
Plenty, dude. That guy's young. That guy's young, man. He's got plenty of time left. This guy's outstanding. I'm actually surprised he only has 2 championships, and that's only because it's damn hard to win a championship in college basketball.
And I also say that 2020 COVID year with Azubuike, number 1 overall seed, got robbed that damn year. Could have 3.
That was a good season. Yeah, no doubt about it.
My number 2 college basketball head coach currently in the game right now. I think this is where the debate's going to start, Max. But I'm going to go old school guy with a big resume, Rick Pitino.
Rick Pitino.
Okay, now some of this has been vacated, and I am counting the wins. I'm counting the championships. So Louisville, they have their vacated wins and vacated Final Four, and the 2013 championship is vacated for the brothel that they were running in the dorm room. I'm not going to put that against Rick Pitino. I'm still counting it. Same with like a guy like John Calipari, who Marcus Camby in 96 with Massachusetts was getting jewelry. Okay. I'm not going to hold that against Calipari. Somebody took Derrick Rose's SAT for him at Memphis. I'm not going to hold that against Calipari. I'm still counting that Final Four for the head coach. So I just want to make that clear, Max. Rick Pitino, my number 2 guy. He's won 2 championships, 1996 with Kentucky, 2013 with Louisville. 5 more Final Fours on top of that, 87, 93, 97, 05, and 2012, 854 career wins. Rick Pitino, he gets let go from Louisville. He goes over to Greece, comes back, takes Iona to the tournament. Now he's with St. John's. Rick Pitino, Hall of Famer, man. Hall of Famer. No matter what he's doing off the court, he can coach the game of basketball. He's my number 2 guy in the game right now.
Kobreezy, he's my number 3. Okay, I had him close, and the next guy that we're probably going to name, we're probably on the same board. We can definitely flip flop, dude. Rick Pitino has 7 Final Four appearances with 3 different teams.
Crazy.
Crazy. He has 10 Elite 8 appearances, already part of the Basketball Hall of Fame, as you already brought up, Kobreezy. And he also has a Hooters discount card anytime that he can, anytime he wants some hot, spicy wings, he can go to Hooters at any time with his players and make them extra happy as they sit down on their lappies.
That is a fun fact about Rick Pitino today that I wasn't expecting. Wow. I believe only 2 guys have taken 3 different schools to the Final Four. I'm just going to double check because Calipari also did it. But I think, yeah, Pitino and Calipari, only 2 guys that took 3 different schools to the Final Four. So who's your number 2 then, Maxwell, after that fun fact about Rick Pitino?
Number 2, I'm going Tom Izzo. Going Tom Izzo of Michigan State. Hey, he won a championship back in 2000, which was hey, get this, the last time the Big Ten won a championship was in 2000. Can you believe that? That's 24 years ago. Cannot, man.
Bad. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
To be honest, it is. Hey, Tom Izzo has 15 Sweet 16s, 8 Final Four appearances. He was the National Coach of the Year 8 times. 8 times. And he has a record right now, Kobreezy, with 25 straight NCAA tournament appearances. This guy is a stud. You probably have the record. And Kobreezy, is he your number 3?
He's my number 3. Tom Izzo, definitely of Michigan State, the Spartans. I had him number 2, and then I'm looking at Rick Pitino. I had to flip him with the 1 more championship for Rick, and then about 150 more career wins. Probably more years there, definitely. But the 1 more championship did it for me. But yeah, 8 Final Fours for Tom Izzo. My goodness, that's I mean, Pitino's only got 6. Dos Santos only got 4. So Tom Izzo with 8. That's up there, man. That's up there. Who is your number 4? I think we're gonna have some new names here, Max.
I think this is where we're gonna disperse a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Kobreezy. I would be surprised if he's not in your top 5 because this guy has put remarkable numbers. Maybe in a division that's weak, but I got Mark Few of Gonzaga.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Few of Gonzaga. According to the source that I got, he has 716 wins and 143 losses. That's 83%. This guy is 80. Yeah, damn good. He has 2 Final Four appearances, 22 regular season league titles. 19 of those ended up being conference championships, 5 Elite 8 appearances, 12 Sweet 16s, including that record. Did you say 9 straight Sweet 16s?
9 straight Sweet 16s for Gonzaga.
Damn good. It's damn good. He's coached Gonzaga since the 1999-2000 season, and Kobreezy, he has never had a season under 24 wins. Not once. Not every single season that he's been with Gonzaga, that he has coached in the NCAA, he has never had a season under 24 wins. Ridiculous. And he's also had at least 8 seasons with 31 wins. At least 8.
Wow.
This guy's remarkable. He's a great coach at Gonzaga. I understand that the West Coast Conference isn't a big-time conference, but it doesn't matter because, it matters when it comes to championships, but that record, college basketball is tough, man. And Gonzaga faces tough teams every single year, including Purdue twice, which they lost twice this year.
Those 716 wins for Mark Few, those are up there. Those 2 Final Fours ended up in the national championship, losing to Baylor, North Carolina. So he's been knocking on the door. Yep. He's been knocking on the door. I got him 6th. Okay, I got him outside
of the top 5. Oh,
because he doesn't have a ring. He doesn't have a ring for me. I got to count those banners. Mark Few is one of those guys I've heard that like a bunch of stuff's going on with recruiting over the summer and transfer portal and a bunch of stuff's bunch of stuff's going on and nobody can ever contact Mark Few because he's out fishing. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what's going on. His assistant can handle it. He's not living and dying by the game. Okay, he's got other things going on in the summer, and I respect that. Mark Few, I got number 6. Easily could be top 5. He gets a ring, I'll put him in there for sure. I'll put him in there.
All right.
My number 4 has a ring, and I'm also predicting him to get another ring. 2 rings I'm predicting for Dan Hurley
Oh, wow. Wow. Already?
Back to back. You go back to back. The way Dan Hurley freaking motivates his boys. Oh my goodness. They're up 30 and he's red in the face, shouting. They're up 40 and he's railing into the referees. Dan Hurley, he doesn't take his foot off the pedal. You go back to back. Oh my goodness. I'll take you to run my program. Come on over. Now, not if you got Bill Self. Not if you got Bill Self, but I'll take you to run my program once Bill Self freaking retires. Dan Hurley, I got him number 4, man.
Dude, Dan Hurley is outstanding, but he hasn't been in the league enough or too long.
290 wins, right?
Yeah. He's got a long way to go, but he's definitely proving himself to be one of the most elite coaches in the game right now. I don't have him in my top 5. Sorry, I don't. I'm going through history. That's the way I've been looking at it. But I completely agree with you, Kobreezy. If we were talking about literally right now, absolutely right now.
Right.
Based on this season in general,
right.
Dan Hurley might be number 1. He might. I mean, based on this season, I mean,
so we both got him winning the championship, right? So he's gonna have 2 rings. He's gonna have 2 rings. That would be one of 3 guys that have 2 rings: Rick Pitino, Bill Self, and Dan Hurley.
You're right.
Be only 3 guys that have multiple rings.
You're right. I have him at 6. I just squeezed him out. I'm going based off of history of different accomplishments. But yeah, he's an outstanding coach.
Give me your number 5, Max, to finish this up.
This one might be surprising, but I think he deserves it. He's just one of those old school coaches, grinds you down, makes you play defense. I got Kelvin Sampson of Houston.
Hey,
nice. Correct me if I'm not wrong, Kobreezy, but 732 wins. He has a 344 losses, 69% win rate. He has 2 Final Four appearances. He's coached 4 different teams into the NCAA tournament, Kobreezy: Houston, Oklahoma, Indiana, and Washington State. And he's won National Coach of the Year 6 times. Okay, how about that? He's an outstanding coach. It's a bummer this year that, again, their top guy goes out. Jamal Shed, because I think that would have put them over the top here to beat Duke. But hey, it is what it is. But I still think Kelvin Sampson had a miraculous career.
I got Kelvin Sampson in my top 10 for sure. I got him in my top 10. Those 2 Final Fours, that's impressive. One of 9 guys that have been to multiple Final Fours. Okay, so he's got to be in your top 10 for sure. My number 5 guy, I'm glad that you're going resume and I'm going, maybe I'm leaning more towards banners because I got another guy that won a ring. Younger guy still, 466 career wins. Scott Drew. I like my Baylor Bear, Scott Drew. He turned that program around. They weren't even eligible to make the tournament when he was there, and took a team that had nobody, and now they're champions. Baylor basketball, that's never been anything.
Yeah.
So Scott Drew got there. I got Scott Drew number 5. Just to name the other 2 guys that have championships, John Calipari. He has it. Looking at his resume, it was really hard to leave him off. Looking at his resume, he's got a championship in 2012, 5 more Final Fours, 96, 08, 11, 14, and 15. He went to he went to 4 Final Fours within 5 years. 4 Final Fours in 5 years at Kentucky. My goodness, 855 career wins is what I got. Looking at that resume, he should be top 5, but I've been vocal on this podcast saying that he's not an X's and O's guy, that he can go into your living room and get you to come to Kentucky and promise you all the things in an NBA career, and you're gonna be tied at halftime and come out 3, 4, 5 minutes in, you're gonna be losing by 6, 7, 8 points because he's not making adjustments. Okay, he's not making adjustments. Yeah, 6 Final Fours and a championship, over 850 career wins. That's up there, but I couldn't put him in there, Max.
No, I couldn't put him in my top 5 either, Kobreezy. He's in my top 10. Don't get me wrong. He's in my top 10. He has had a good career. I think, again, like you said, he's just more of a recruiter. He recruits the best guys in the game. Something sneaky might be going on there where maybe something is slid underneath the table, like a new Mercedes-Benz to the mommy and daddy or something. I don't know.
Legal now, I guess.
Yeah, I guess apparently now that's legal, but back then it wasn't. So, but, anyway, he knows how to recruit. He knows how to get the best players to play together. So you got to give him that. But he's not in my top 5. Yeah.
I'm with you. Got to throw the other current coach that has a championship is Tony Bennett with Virginia in 2019. And then let's bring up Jim Larinaga because he has two Final Fours, one with George Mason in Miami last year. And then the only other coach we haven't mentioned that has multiple Final Fours in 2007 and 2012 with Ohio State, Thad Matta is now with Butler.
Wow.
So two Final Fours for Thad Matta.
Wow.
Those are your only guys with multiple Final Fours with championships. Hell of a list right there, Max. I'll run through mine real quick. I had Bill Self at the top, followed by Rick Pitino, Tom Izzo, Dan Hurley, and Scott Drew.
Nice. Top for me, I got Bill Self, Tom Izzo, Rick Pitino, Mark Few, and Kelvin Sampson as my top 5.
Nice, good. Let us know in the comments. Let us know where the debate is. Who's at the top? Who's at the bottom? There's a lot of names. There's a lot of names that you could put in there, Max.
Mm-hmm.
To finish us up here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast this week, we got to shout out our ESPN Tournament Challenge leader, our bracket pool. Okay, we got to shout out the leader. Right now, the leader in our pool, 38 people, Max.
Nice.
$760 pot. Okay, that's a big boy. Right now, the leader got in late. I don't think he's consumed a lot of basketball this year. Logan Engels from Indianapolis. Currently lives about 5 or 6 blocks down the road from me right now. Jumps in the pool. Okay. Get this, Max. He had UConn in the Final Four, Purdue in the Final Four, and North Carolina State in the Final Four. Max, he took the Wolfpack.
Good pick.
The only
Crazy
person
pick.
in our pool with 3 Final Four teams. So the only way he doesn't win our pool is if Purdue wins it all, because your dad has them, your brother has them. The only way Logan Engels doesn't win, I think 600 bones for first place. The only way he doesn't win that is if Purdue wins it all.
Go Boilers. Let's go Boilers.
And also, before we get out of here, I got to mention the Sycamores of Indiana State playing in the NIT Championship tonight, Thursday, April 4th against Seton Hall in Hinkle Fieldhouse. Max, that might be a home court advantage for Indiana State being close. Seton Hall has played there every year, Butler being in the Big East. Real quick, give us your pick, Indiana State or Seton Hall for the NIT Championship.
Let's go Indiana State. Let's go, proving everyone wrong. Hey, we should have been in the tournament.
Exactly.
Give it to them. Let's go Sycamores.
Robbie Avila down there banging around, nicknamed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, and Steph Blurry. That dude's doing it. Third leading scorer, just under 16 points a game, Isaiah Swope. Currently, I heard that he's playing with a partially torn meniscus a chipped fracture in his leg.
How's he playing?
How is he playing? Okay, he wants a ring. He wants an NIT championship.
Oh my goodness.
So Indiana State, shout out to you, Sycamores. You should have been in the tournament.
Yes,
you should have been in the tournament. Fucking take Virginia's spot, who got whacked.
Virginia sucks.
Sycamore should have been in there. Go get it. Go get an NIT championship. And only 2 seniors. All those guys are coming back. All those guys are coming back next year. Let's go Sycamores. Hopefully they stay.
Yeah, stay and come back. Yeah, come back and let's make the dance next year.
Max, that's going to do us here this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, our last college basketball episode of the season. My biggest storyline coming in this college basketball year was the redemption tour for Purdue. Could they do what Virginia did, being the only other 1 seed to lose to a 16 and then come back and win it all the next year? That was my biggest storyline coming into the season, going into the tournament. And damn it, we're knocking on the door of possibly seeing that. We both won a Huskies-Boilers matchup in that final. I can't wait.
I'm sweating every day. I'm waking up with anxiety. I got to take something. I got to take something to cool myself down. I'm just kidding. I'm so excited. I'm losing sleep. I'm thinking about this so much. No. What an incredible season. This has been the most fun college basketball season that I've ever witnessed. Obviously,
especially.
Because me being a Purdue Boilers fan, you can all probably understand. So let's go Boilers, everybody. Please have it on your TVs because, oh my goodness, this might be the best basketball game we've ever seen. Could be.
Hopefully we get it. Hopefully we don't get spoiled and something happens here, an upset or something.
Oh, jeez.
You can't be shocked if an upset happens, but we're both thinking Huskies, Boilers. Max, where can they find this podcast at? Where the people find it?
Hey, everyone, thank you for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast tonight. You can find us here on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Twitter, and Instagram. Please, let's hear from you. Let's hear some comments. Let's see those likes, and let's get those subscriptions up. Kobreezy, the last time I checked, we are 5 away from breaking 1,000.
I'm gonna have to pop a bottle.
Ooh, man.
Pop a bottle for that. I might go get it tonight.
There's a bottle of champagne in the fridge. I got it right there in the fridge.
I'm gonna stop. I think I'm gonna stop at a liquor store tonight and get a bottle because that baby's happening possibly tonight.
I would like to see that happen before this Purdue Boilers game. I would love to pop that bubbly and then pop another bubbly when Purdue wins the whole damn thing.
Hell yeah.